There's a lot of talk these days about sustainable agriculture, and people look around and they think agriculture really doesn't look that sustainable. And there are a lot of definitions of sustainable agriculture. Monsanto even has a definition of sustainable agriculture. But I like to look to nature for what sustainable agriculture is, and because really this is what created our resource base. Look on the left here. I got a laser pointer here from whatever. How deep these soils are in the Midwest. From the prairies. The prairies were very, very deep rooted, and they put that organic matter deep in the soil and made some of the most productive soils in the world. However, 12,000 years ago, when the last glacier receded, there was no soil. It was only those ecological processes that created it. For example, the prairie grasses were tall with deep roots. The bison would come in and graze off that plant. That short plant then didn't need that deep root system. It sloughed it into the soil, grow new top, more roots, get grazed again. So it pulsed this organic matter deep in the soil, creating these black, rich soils here in Iowa. However, since then we've lost half of our topsoil since we started farming in Iowa. And soil from research shows it only forms at about 1/2 ton per acre per year. Our average rate of erosion for corn and soybeans is 5.7 ton per acre per year, 10 times that. During the flood in 2008, we lost 20 ton per acre on a lot of land, even this year as well. And that black organic carbon, we've lost over half of that as well. Let's look at the differences. In an ecological system, we have diversity, self-sufficiency, it conserves and recycles. But in an industrial system, we have a monoculture. It takes a lot of inputs, and it's leaky. You might say in a natural ecosystem there's no waste, no pollution, because the waste of one species is food for other species. Everything is cycled and recycled. Compare that to a modern agriculture. We have monoculture, here we have wheat in Montana, monoculture cotton in California, corn, soybeans in Iowa. Even our animals are monoculture. But that monoculture takes herbicides to keep other plants out. Normally it takes insecticides, various pesticides to make that work. And when you look inside of these animal confinement systems, here's 10,000 turkeys in one building. And we see these gestation crates for hogs that are now being outlawed in some states, where hogs stay for months at a time without being able to turn around. These are veal calf crates where calves are tied in, and it's kept in the dark so the meat is white. And here we have 5 to 6 chickens in one little cage, so small one chicken couldn't raise its wings. And so that is the kind of agriculture we're kind of going towards today, but we can do it differently. And this leaks as well. Manure spills. We have hundreds of manure spills in the last 10 years here in Iowa, and millions of fish literally killed from these manure spills, both from spills in the field and from leaky structures going on. And we know, and this is in Mississippi and Louisiana, this is a dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. It gets about as big as New Jersey every summer from the nutrients that come down the river, and it causes algae to bloom, and when the algae die, it decomposes, it robs the water of oxygen, and all the fish have to either leave or they die. And the biggest contributor to that is corn and soybean production in the Midwest. The soils have tile drainage over much of Iowa, about 4 feet deep, that drains the excess water out, and it takes nitrate with it, that nitrogen, and that goes down the river and gets to the Gulf and causes about 60% of that dead zone from that. One little quickly slide here. This is showing that leakage of nitrogen from continuous corn after corn. In 4 years, it lost 194 pounds of nitrogen. Look down here, perennial crops, alfalfa, CRP grass, only 4 to 6 pounds of nitrogen leaked out, 30 to 40 times less. And the corn and soybeans rotation leaked almost as bad as the continuous corn. So soybeans leak as well. Now I'm going to look at how we can apply that ecology to create different systems. This is on our own farm in Radiance Dairy. We moved there in '96. This is where the waterways were. They're very eroded away. Some places all the topsoil was gone. So it's like the glacier just receded and we're starting over again. So what we did is we planted a large area to a variety of grasses and clovers, a mixture, kind of mimicking the prairie. And then the cows get milked twice a day, and each time they come out of milking, they get a new area of grass. And so they move, like the bison, they keep moving around. And the way we structured that is that we split up the farm into about 60 small pastures. These are all little paddocks, we call them, about 2 acres each, and here are the lanes for the cows to get out into the pastures. So we can, every time the cows get milked, they move to a new set of grass. And then as they come around, it regrows and they come back again. And that then allows the roots to grow deeper down and to pulse that organic matter in and start to rebuild that soil again, using that model of agriculture, of nature, of ecology. You can see here, this is electric fence where the cows separates one pasture from another. This is where they have grazed. This is where they're going next. So we can keep moving around like that. And then, of course, when the grass is tall, it has a deeper root system, and then it sloughs that root mass off when it gets grazed, just like with the bison grazing the prairie grass. Now compare that to the industrial system where the animals are confined. You have to bring their feed. Instead of them grazing, you chop their grass, put it in storage, feed them day by day, collect their manure, and then haul it back out into the field. And so all those steps you have to do. And somebody once said, so nature of grass is stand in one place, nature of cows should move about. You've got it already. Okay. So the cows, they can do that. All we have to do if we design it right is after milking, open the next gate, and the cows go into pasture. We close the gate. They harvest their own feed. They spread their own manure right where it needs to be. They enjoy their work. And they're healthier because of that, because they're in their natural environment. So it's better for the cow, better for the grass, better for the soil. And this actually shows ghee made from cows on grass versus ghee made the same cows in the wintertime when they were not on grass. You can see the beta carotens, and it's higher in omega-3 fatty acids and conjugated linoleic acids and other vitamins from the grass. And so it's a healthier system for the cows, for the grass, for the soil, and for the people. Now, one more thing comparing confinement to cows on pasture. When manure is in a pit, it's anaerobic, and it makes 300 volatile organic compounds that are toxic, and that's why it smells. It's not the hogs you're smelling. Compare when a cow patty goes out in the pasture. There are billions of bacteria underneath that, just waiting for a meal, and it's not odorous at all. The last thing I'm doing quickly is energy is a big thing. And on our farm, what we've done, we've added some solar panels for making hot water. We have here a solar panel to pump water. It goes to this 4,000 gallon tank, and it feeds all the pastures. We have a wind turbine we just put up at 40 kilowatt, and we use solar in some other places like energizing our electric fences.